George. I've got this exam of mice and men next.
Stop complaining. I'm tired of you complaining. First it was the beans, the ketchup, the mice. Now you're complaining about the exam.
Can I tend the rabbits instead of doing the exam,
No, you
George?
cannot tend the rabbits. You can tend the rabbits after the exam, but you have to do the exam.
Okay, George, but what am I going to do in the exam? I don't know anything.
It's quite
about this
simple.
book.
It's quite simple. You read the extract and you answer the question.
Okay, but like when it says, how does the writer create suspense here? I don't know anything, George.
Stop whining.
Okay.
Stop whining. Okay, if you get a question about suspense, read the extract, think of some key lines that show you how there's suspense.
Yeah, but you know, like, say I've got a scene where, like, I get shot in the head, like, well, how's that suspense for? I just get shot, don't I?
Well,
I mean,
it's quite a simple question to answer.
Yeah, maybe I've got that extract, like, you know, I'm talking about, George is talking about the dream of the rabbits, George, and the rabbits.
Calm down again. Once again, you're getting too over the top here. Alright, you get a question about, like, suspense.
Okay.
Basically, okay, think about how sympathy is created in this book.
Okay.
Right? Yeah.
Okay, so people care for me when I'm shot.
A lot of people care about you. I care about you.
That's good, George. I'm so pleased about that.
It's okay. It's okay. I care about you. But that's also what makes us quite sympathetic, because it's very rare that we care about each other. Two farm workers care about each other in this type of time period.
But how's the writer who wrote us managing to do this, George? How's he doing it?
If you look, well, just for first up, we're together, which is a thing that's quite different.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah, we're together. I got you and you got me.
Yeah, yes. In this time period, we wouldn't be together. We have very solitary lives, and we travel around alone, and we pick up these little menial jobs here and there. At this time period, we're together and we have a plan and we want to live the American dream. That's what makes it kind of...
And people will care for us because they know we got a dream and we're not like the other bindle bums, are we?
No, we're not. We're not like the other bindle bins and not bindle bums. But at that time period, I mean, if you look at kind of other people in the play, like Crooks...
Yeah, Crooks.
Even Curly's
he looked at books, didn't he?
Yes, he did look at books.
Yeah.
But then Candy, these people wanted to have...
Candy, you got his dog.
Yes, his dog. He
got shot.
Did get shot.
Oh,
sad.
dear.
Very sad.
Very sad. It was very sad. But I got some pups and I stroked him.
You did stroke.
And it died, George.
Yes, it was very sad. But that method's something you could talk about with the foreshadow.
Oh yeah, the writer wrote it, so like I killed these pups even though I didn't mean to, and then that makes people feel sorry for me and for the pups.
And the mouse.
And the mouse. And also the writer gives me words that I speak called dialogue, doesn't he, George?
Yes.
And that makes me kind of come alive as a person.
Yeah, because it's more, instead of being third person, it's more first person, because we have more of a personal interpretation.
Yeah, and then I speak words, don't I, George? And I talk about the rabbits all the time. I talk about the rabbits.
Well, you keep on bringing it up here. We get the sense that you talk about rabbits.
Yeah, but also, like, once I was laughing, wasn't I? And it was because of the rabbits and the pups and stuff, and then Curly, he was really nasty, wasn't he? He came along, he thought I was laughing at him, but I wasn't, and then he started hitting me, didn't he?
That's one reason why people feel sympathy for you, because people misunderstand you
and
misunderstand you, and then we have someone that's totally opposite of you. It's very angry and controlling.
Yeah,
comes in and he tries to control you. No one really likes Curly. No. He's such a bad person.
Yeah, but then I got his hand and then I crushed it, didn't I? But I couldn't let go, George, could I? Until you smacked me in the face. Because if I didn't have you, I'd get in awful sort of trouble, wouldn't I?
Because in that way we're linked. We have to be together for things to be successful with us.
Yeah.
But the time period is going to be the ruling force here. Because ultimately what happens is that you die.
Oh yeah, I have to talk about that in the exam, don't I?
You do.
But I mustn't just have a long long history lesson about the 1930s, should I?
No,
Not long history. In the 1930s, there was an economic crash in America, and then there was a president who did this and that. I don't do that, do I?
Don't do that.
That would give me a bad... So what do I do, George? What do I do? I'm getting in a panic, George.
Don't panic. What you want to do is whatever you read, link it to the context of the time period. So you've got a number of things you can talk about. You can talk about the American dream and how we're still
the rabbits, we're going to have
how we're still trying to have some land and live the American dream, and how that's quite rare right now.
Oh yeah, it's going to live off the fat of the land, and we have alfalfa.
Gives us a sense of hope. There. We still have some hope that's actually died for a lot of Americans. So the time period, people that are reading this book have a sense of nostalgia with that.
Yeah.
But it's lost
and
for
hope.
them. Yeah, for them.
Hope, but then they get shot, don't they? And there isn't much hope in that. When
No.
you're dead, there's not very much hope.
And then you got to think about the whole contrast of what's happened with the shooting. So before this, we had the Roaring '20s, which we had an economic boom at this time.
Oh yeah.
And there's one character here that you've met, and you started stroking the hair. That kind of has a
Oh,
lot of that stuff. Wants to be a movie star.
Curly's wife, I liked her.
Yes,
She was
very
very
soft.
pretty, very pretty.
Very
I
pretty.
just
Very
put
pretty.
her hair and I just stroke it. It's very nice.
She embodies women at that time period that wanted to still, with the Roaring '20s, that wanted to still live in that kind of time period and live with all the fame and the glamour.
She was going to work in the pictures, wasn't she?
Yes, she was.
And a man said she was going to work in the pictures, except he never helped her work in the pictures.
And now, in a sense, she's isolated and trapped. We feel sorry for her.
She married Curly. I wouldn't want to be married to Curly, who's a very bad man.
No.
But he's got a glove on, and he keeps his hands soft for her, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
Yeah, and that's a bit creepy.
Yeah, what's interesting about him is real Curly as well. He's a character in this time period that's kind of like the elite. He's got money. He can do things, but because of that, he has some control. So he can get away with doing what he wants.
He's a boss's son, and the boss is very...
and he gets away with treating people wrongly. And then we've got Crooks, your friend Crooks.
Crooks. He reads books.
Yes,
he can read and write. That's amazing.
Yes.
He can read and write. I'm going to have to read and write in the exam too,
Yes, you
aren't I?
will.
Oh,
Sure.
yeah.
Do you know... Do you know how... Well, do you remember what Crooks slept in?
Oh yeah, he slept in a bunk, didn't he?
He did sleep in a bunk, but when Steinbeck talks about it, it's
he
like a coffin.
Oh, is it like a coffin?
It's like a coffin.
Yeah.
So he is kind of Walking Dead.
Yeah.
And what does that say about what people thought of that race at the time period?
Yeah, and he's all alone and no one really talks to him. And he's very, very lonely. And I would be lonely if I didn't have George. But I've got George, I've got you, and you've got me.
Yes.
And together we're going to tend the rabbits,
yes,
aren't we?
We're going to live off the fat of the land. We're going to live the American dream again. We're going to grab hold of it and do something with it.
I think I'm going to do well in this exam, George.
I think you will.
I have a good feeling, because you tell me what to do. I've got you and you've got me.
Yes, we got each other.
I hope you're listening. Bye.